What's up, everybody? It is so good to be back. I got something super special for you today. I am in my home salon, Lunatic Fringe South Temple. We are gonna be cutting a live model, doing something I think you're really gonna like, testing that extreme and just having a lot of fun. So let me show you. Let's go take a tour. Let's get right into the hair because you know what? That's why you're here, right? That's why you're here. So I've got a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful girl. Her name is Adele. And you know what? Why she's sitting in my chair? Well, that's a little secret. But you know what? We are gonna be doing a mullet. And she wants something fairly extreme. She doesn't really care, you know. As I was consulting with her, she's open to very short fringe, you know, short on the sides, shaved on the sides, whatever it may be. But it's gonna have a mullet, so let's go ahead and get right into that. All right, guys, so now I'm gonna show you guys the parting. So what we basically did, I wanna start out really quick, is that first off, we've got the sides. So we're gonna be cutting these sides fairly short. Then what we're gonna be doing is that we've got divided between the top half, which essentially is this area all right through here. We've got our side basically from the back of the ear, okay? Now we're gonna go right off the top of this recession right through here. The thing that we wanna keep in mind is that we're gonna keep this clipped away. So this is essentially gonna be where our length is at. And we're really gonna start to have, we might have a little disconnection in here. We're gonna be having lots of different like short and long because we wanna create this texture. She's got a little bit of like a wave through here. So with some of that wave, if we create and we actually have some short hair right next to that long hair, you're gonna see how some of that wave is actually gonna encourage and come out more. So let's get right into it. Let's start off on the sides. As you guys can see, actually, is that she already actually cut some shortness right through here. And that line's not really super even. So what I really wanna do is I'm gonna go through here and I'm gonna start to even a lot of this out. So let's take and let's get rid of this top portion right through here. And we can really start to cut some of this. What I want to do is I want to start to build up some graduation. So we're going to scissor over comb right into this area and we're going to start to build this weight up right into here. Instead of having it traditionally just shaved right there on the sides, we're going to build that graduation up really nicely. It's going to be pretty awesome. So it's going to add an element of kind of like uniqueness to this. Come over here. I want to show you guys something. I'm going to show you in the mirror. We're actually starting to kind of build this weight up right through here. So this is going to be a very cool point of interest right through there. So you're actually going to have a little bit more barbering skills right through this. but we're gonna be adding a lot of different texture in here. So the really cool thing is that, you know, depending on how broken this is right through the top and how much you can reveal and see through that. If you see in her face shape, she's got a really beautiful face shape. You know what I mean? Again, there's nothing you really want to take away from. She's really nicely balanced between this area, and between the top area. So really short fringe would work, a little bit longer fringe would work. She's just a very, very pretty girl. So again, there's nothing you have to veer away from. So, but having that exposed on the side is actually a really cool thing. So if you are thinking about shaving your sides, you know, think about adding a little bit of graduation, build that weight up there right on the top of that recession. It's really, really super cool. So let's go ahead and do the other side. So after you get done doing the sides, okay, what you want to do next is that I took down this top portion right through here. We're just going to get all of this hair out of the way. We're going to save this. We're going to start right here, right behind the back of the crown, right there, okay? And then we're going to work in this top area, and then we're going to do these portions down through here, and then we'll do the bottom. But really what I want to do is I want to create a lot of highs and lows, and I talked about that a little bit before. But really at the end of the day, because we're actually going to be keeping a little bit more length through this mid area, cut some of this a little bit shorter, we're going to have some shortness through here, some shortness through here, and then we're going to actually create a little bit more length right through here, and then shortness through here, and then length on the bottom. Because again, you want to create that high and low and that high and low. Instead of just going through and texturizing everything, we really want to do that, you know, in the wet shape. So let's go ahead and start that right now. You know, we've got like some short hair right through here, and then we're gonna have some long hair right next to that, right? Now, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be working, again, these sections, kind of like in this pie section, just like this. I'm gonna be cutting on the inside of my fingers, and it just allows me to control those sections all the way through, just like that, okay? Work a section right through here, just like that. Right through here as well. Take this section. Now what we're gonna do, now I'm gonna show you, now you're gonna look and see how short that hair is up against that long bit. Now what we wanna do, the really cool thing is that we don't wanna go from short automatically like that. We're gonna leave out some of that hair just like that, and we're gonna continue that line this direction, because those long bits in there are gonna help create this really cool texture. It'll kind of, some of that curl will come out into it. So that's what's really super fun about this, okay? Now, is this gonna be a haircut you're gonna pass your state boards with? I'm gonna say no, right? But you know what? You want something unique, you wanna create texture, you gotta put short hair up against long hair. This is really how these haircuts are so unique, okay? So as I start to take this section, just like this, I'm gonna really pay attention, number one, to where that short hair is, okay? Just right there. Now, I'll take a mohawk section, and what I wanna do is I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna push this hair out of the way, just like that, and I can kind of see where that is, and we're gonna keep that. Now, some of that texture right there, and we're gonna go up to an extreme length, just like that, okay? Now, like those short bits in there is where that cool texture is gonna come in. Now, the really cool thing about Adele, when I was consulting with her, she doesn't use a ton of product in her hair. this is gonna be something super ideal for somebody that doesn't use a lot of product in their hair, because you're already cutting that texture into it. So no matter what, if she doesn't put anything in her hair, it's gonna look super texturized. So it's a win-win all the way around. So take that mohawk section out of the way. Let's take that next section right through there. And I'm gonna take my scissors, get that out of the way, just like so. Now I'm going to approach this almost like that pie section is streaming from this area. So from that center portion, you know, and then as I start to cut that, I'm going to kind of build that out through there. The shortest point is going to be in that center portion, and as you pivot around, it's going to get a little bit longer, a little bit longer. Now as I start to get through this area, you can start to see, we're gonna get this out of the way, you're gonna see how this line is now curving up just a little bit more. We're not gonna go as aggressive. So I'm gonna get this out of the way, just like that, and I'm gonna start to cut a little bit of this texture. We're gonna save a lot more of this for when it's actually dry. So, but we're gonna start to add just a little bit of that texture in it right now. Because really when it comes down to it, we want to, you know, that front needs to have some of that movement as well. All right, so now we're actually gonna be moving to the mid portion in the back, which is actually this area right through here. This area back here through here has a tendency of being super bulbous, sticking off the back of the head. And sometimes you kind of lose, it's not that you necessarily lose the mullet, but when I consider a mullet is I consider the length down through here. And the more extreme the length can be, it's more mullet-ish. But again, if this is too bulbous back through here, it can look kind of amateur. So again, we want to hug that against the head just a little bit more. So let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, so cutting this, as you guys can see, I went from basically short to long. Now I'm gonna hold out a section. I want you guys to kind of see what we exactly did. One of the things, the hair goes from like really short to really long at the very bottom of that section. The thing that I also want you to pay attention to is that this short hair, the first hair we cut, is now connected to this line in the back. And so now you're gonna see that short hair. There's a rhyme and a reason why everything happens, right? Where we started, so you're gonna see that continuous flow all the way down. And again, you can start to see how much texture we have throughout this. And now as we start to dry this, you're gonna start to see all of this kind of texture come out, which is gonna be a lot of fun. And then we're gonna go in and we're gonna detail, you know, the fringe and all of that good stuff. But right now, let's go ahead and dry what we've done. And so you guys can start to see that texture come alive. Cool? All right guys, so after we got done drying, I just want to show you guys something super, super quick. Now, the really cool thing is that let's get a little profile perspective, and you can start to see how much bulk is removed back through this area. A lot of times when you're doing certain things, it'll bulk out through here, and you can see how much of this really kind of hugs the head, and it makes that length look even longer. So again, keep that in mind, guys. And the other really cool thing is that you can start to see how short this hair is right up through here. Also, let's take a look here, and I'm gonna show you, you know, you can see how it actually stayed just like right there, but you can see how this hair goes from like short to long. But then let's go ahead and grab a hold of this hair underneath, and you're gonna see how short that hair is right underneath. And so this now falls down and creates a really nice head shape through here, and then this sucks that in right through here. So again, the really, really cool thing is that you're creating these highs and lows and highs and lows. So right now what I want to do is I really want to go in and start to remove a little bit more weight falling you know, almost kind of like channels through here, so you can really start to see, you know, the cool thing is that if she was going to part her hair just like that, push this hair away, you can actually start to see how cool that can look in that area. I mean, there's so many cool things. And then having that short hair that falls right off that line right through here is also gonna kind of like make this kick out even more. So there's a lot of really cool things happen here. So let's go ahead and detail this. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and start the fringe right through here. Now you can see how I just kind of took a little bit of a zigzag right through here. You know, this is all kind of considered fringe. If you think about it, all the hair is gonna kind of flow forward. So we don't need to really find off where the part is at because it's all gonna be in that area. The thing I really want to point you to is you guys are going to run into this same issue, you know, you might have this in your hair, is you have like a little bit of a cowlick right through here, right? Now most cowlicks are really, really strong right up in that hairline area. You can see that growth pattern right through here really just kind of wants to pop it right up. Now, her natural part is going to be over here on her left side. So what I want to do is I actually want to work with this cowlick. I don't want to work against it, I want to work with it. So I'm going to be cutting this in a way that is going to allow it to really kind of live where it wants to live. Now, one of the things is that I'm a big believer in, you know, as we kind of start to cut this texture, you know, I'm really just gonna kind of grab a hold of it and I just kind of want to see, I don't want to cut it like super short underneath, but I really want to create some of that texture in there. And so that's what we're going to be doing right through here, because we're going to still have this hair that's going to help fall over the top of it. And if you actually start cutting this, you're going to notice that like if the hair starts to jump up pretty heavily, then you're cutting it the wrong way. So, you know, meaning that you're going way too aggressive. So I really want to show you guys something. So as we started to kind of like remove a lot of this weight through here, and I'm going to show you guys, and again, it goes from like short to long, short to long, short to long, and then you have like that, you know, short to long that we did at that very, very beginning. You know, you're really starting to get a lot of texture in here. And again, there's no product thrown in here, but as you start to move this, you can start to see a lot of this texture coming through, which is just so much fun. It was really heavy right here in this kind of like this frontal portion. I wanted to expose a little bit more of that, meaning that I wanted her to have a little bit more skin showing right through this area, so it opens up that face a little bit more. I like that length, but opening that up is actually gonna open up that face even just a little bit more. So that's really what I'm dig through this area. The other thing, as we start to really kind of play around with this, I wanted to make this light enough, and again, if she just pushes this right behind her ear or pushes some of this hair back, you start to expose that graduation underneath, which can actually be super fun. So again, it shows off that uniqueness, and even over through here as well, you can start to see how that kind of exposes that little area. And the really cool thing about that is that this makes that mullet even look more and more extreme, which is super awesome. But again, having that texture throughout there, you know, knowing that there's no product in there, we're gonna throw some product in there, because you know what? I love product, right? I'm a product whore. I mean, I like it, right? I just like using stuff. So we're gonna throw something in here to really show off that texture. You know how I do, you know, I'm gonna get crazy with it. But the cool thing is that if that texture is cut into it, you don't have to use as much product. So the other cool thing I want you guys to see is as I pull this out, you're gonna start to see how, again, we have that short to long right through here, and then we went short to long right through here. We haven't done anything with this down through here yet. We're gonna do that now, but again, I don't want to take too much away from it. I actually kind of want to keep it a little bit more bulky down through here. Actually, I would really like it if it was even a little bit longer. I mean, maybe we'll save that for another haircut, you know? You know, if Adele's down to maybe do this again, if I don't mess it up too much. you know, maybe as her hair starts to grow, we can refine it and take it to that next level. If she's up for it, we'll see, you know. So one last thing to show you guys what I did on the underneath is that now that underneath area, I wanted to go through and I just cut out like these little, like really super thin channels. And I just cut those completely out. Now what you can start to see is you can start to see how it's starting to separate already. So again, it's gonna keep the same consistency and flow of short hair up against long hair. So that'll like actually create a lot of cool width through here as we go in and we can actually push some of this out. So honestly guys, we are done with the haircut. So let's go ahead and style it. Let's do that now. I really hope you guys enjoyed what we did today. I'm just gonna recap really quick about the styling. And again, the styling, I use a little bit of a clay. I use a clay from Shuamura. This stuff's amazing right here, clay definer, awesome stuff, okay? Then we actually went in and we used a little bit of the Orbe right here. This swept up, this powder creates a really cool grip. Now those two combination, using the paste first, then the actual powder, you're going to create a lot of cool texture. They're both super matte, so think about that as well. You know, if a client has a tendency of getting oily, you want to stick with more of a matte product. And then we were really just kind of playing with it, scrunching it, really just kind of trying to bring out that ultimate texture. Guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed what we did today. You know, I want to thank Adele. Adele is a beautiful, beautiful model. So look how fabulous her hair looks. She wants something cutting edge. She wants something that's not so ordinary, right? Something that's gonna make her pop when she's walking down the street. It's like, yo, 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 what's up? I mean, I don't know if she does that, but whatever. If she does that, awesome. You know, she hasn't really said much to me today, but I mean, she might be a little shy. You know, whatever, you know. Either way, that's neither here nor there. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it. My name is Jake Thompson Hair. If you're not subscribed, go and subscribe. If you haven't liked this video, like it, comment, give me some love. You know how I like love. Guys, I will see you in the next video.